Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Forum coming at you again with another late video. This kind of seems to be the theme going on right now. It's just the way it is. Can't really change that right now. But day two, this is the Lions training camp video, observations from day two. And I couldn't get this stuff out, guys, if it wasn't for guys like Eric Schlitt, John Macaron, Tim Twentyman, Jeremy Reisman, Jeff Risden, Justin Rogers. The list goes on and on with those Lions beat writers who are getting the job done. And I'm acquiring that info, giving it out to you guys, putting it on my YouTube channel, and making some opinions on what's going on. And we go from there. So those guys do all the dirty work. I give those guys all the credit. You know what I mean? I'm not stealing their stuff. But, those guys do the work, and I'm just letting you guys know that. So day two in the house, done, officially over. Are you guys worried about injuries? You guys worried about injuries? Because I know it's out there, it's happening. You see guys falling. I think it's a little bit overblown. It's July. It's mid-July. Well, it's a little bit past mid-July now. We're in the 20s, 22nd, whatever it is. I'm not too worried. I know Dan Campbell isn't. He's saying he's not changing the way he practices. It's been successful the way they've done things. I think some of these guys that are getting hurt, it's not on Dan Campbell. It's not Dan Campbell's fault that a wide receiver ran into Enos Rakestraw. It's not Dan Campbell's fault that Sione Vaikai's leg got twisted up. It's not Dan Campbell's fault that guys like Levi Onwuzurike is out for the season when he got hurt, not even under the care of the Detroit Lions. So, I think Campbell gets way too much flack for this. But he does come out and say that this is the way they practice. They do practice hard. They have the NFLPA for a reason, though. NFL Players Association. It's a union, so these coaches can't just get away with overworking these guys. But some guys get hurt, man. This is football. And I think it's a little bit exaggerated because, we got a bunch of guys that are kind of hurt right now, but a lot of them are coming back very, very soon. And I'll talk about this in a second. So I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. Don't worry about that. But day two in the house. So let's get to who practiced, who didn't, and stuff like that. So participated. DJ Reed was out. It was disclosed. Apparently his wife is pregnant. So he was probably maybe he was with her, obviously, but it was disclosed. I don't think he's injured. So we'll hear more about that probably tomorrow on day three. Amik Robinson did practice in his place alongside Terry Arnold, the second-year corner out of Alabama. Nose tackle Roy Lopez did take himself out of a drill. Injury, don't really know what the injury was. He did stay on the field, but was done for the day. He didn't go inside and get looked at, so it's probably obviously not that serious. We'll know about that more tomorrow as well. Running back Sione Vaikai went down too with an apparent leg injury. He did go inside. I think he walked in on his own though. I'm not sure if he was carded. I don't know. I don't think he was. I didn't see any kind of report of that, but he did go inside to get looked at. So there's an apparent leg injury going on with him. And he was working with the running backs and the wide receivers, by the way, which I kind of talk about a little bit too. And then linebacker Alexander Zaloni all of a sudden has this hamstring injury. Okay. For months, we've been hearing about Alexander Zaloni possibly being a hold-in. A hold-in is a player that comes to the facility and is there but doesn't practice, and it's kind of it's a holdout, but it's called a hold-in because he's there, but he's just not practicing because he wants more money. Alexander Zaloni apparently crushed this conditioning test. It's called the beat test. You have to pass it in order to continue on with practicing and to continue on with the team. And he apparently crushed it. Then the next day he has a hamstring injury. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not bashing the organization for this or anything like that. I'm not going to go after Holmes or go after Dan Campbell for this. But Dan Campbell playing stupid and then all of a sudden saying it's a hamstring injury, it's just funny. It's just weird. They do things weird in Detroit. It's not normal. He's probably doing it because he doesn't want to think that this is a distraction, and I just don't think it would be a distraction. But they just do things differently in Detroit. They just do it differently. I think it's going to get done. I think something's going to get done. It seems like it's more money. I know Derek Barnes is making more money than Alex Anzalone, which is absurd. Which is absurd. And those two guys are best friends, but I don't think it has anything to do with it. Derek Barnes should not be making more money than Alex Anzalone. He just shouldn't be, and he is. So it's got to be a money thing. It has to be. I don't buy that he's hurt. I really don't. I just think they're just playing. They're just playing. They're just playing the role. Oh, he's hurt. He's going to be out for a bit. He has no timetable for his return. So, you know, and then you got Dan Campbell saying that he doesn't think it's about money, and it's just a weird thing. So, but Alex Anzalone's out. I expect him back soon. They're going to give him some cash. Apparently, it's not about the contract. Really, it's more about guaranteed money. So I don't know if he's looking for maybe a little bit more guaranteed money. Maybe he's looking for a 1 or 2 year extension. You know, he's getting a little bit older. He's not ancient, but he's getting older. He's been around for a bit. Anzalone's had a lot of injuries. He's been fairly healthy as a Detroit Lion, and he's played his best career as a Detroit Lion. So, you know, he's a team leader. He's a team leader on defense. He's just a team leader. So, this is the type of guy that you kind of want to stick around. You don't want to overpay him, though, you know, because he's not a great linebacker. He's a good, very good linebacker. He's very good, and he should be making a little bit more money, apparently. But I don't really know, man. Hamstring, money, just come back, Anzalone. But he's out right now, and come back soon. Okay, come back soon, because I'm not buying this hamstring BS. I'm just not. And then defensive end El Quadin Muhammad is out too. Don't know what his injury is, but he is out. The quarterback Enos Rakestraw out with a chest contusion. No timetable, but Campbell said that he thinks that he'll be back in a few days. He goes, much needed rest. So it's a lot. The injury's a lot better than what they thought it was going to be at first. Because I guess according to some beat writers, they thought it was a lot worse than just a chest contusion. Just the way it happened. Just the way it happened. It looked a lot worse than it was. So, you know, thank the stars. Thank God that it wasn't too serious, and he's going to need a few days rest. Rakestraw needs to be out there though. And then who came back? Cornerback Anthony Pittman, linebacker Anthony Pittman, the local kid. He did return to practice. He was practicing at the mic. You know, he's a return guy. He's a special teams guy as well. And then with the trainers, and I'll explain that in a second. Defensive end Josh Pascal was with the trainers. Cornerback Stanley Thomas Oliver. Cornerback Khalil Dorsey. D lineman Makai Wingo, and linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez. So when you hear about guys that are out there and they're practicing with they're out there stretching, doing drills with the trainers, doing it in slow motion, doing it at mid speed, full speed, whatever they're doing out there, that's a sign that they're going to be probably coming back earlier. So don't freak out when you see a long list of injuries. This is what it is, man. Most of these injuries are from last year. Pascal, don't know what's up with him. Oliver, not sure. Dorsey, who knows. Wingo's from last year for sure. Rodriguez is from last year for sure. And the one to keep an eye on is Rodrigo, because he was set to be out until around November, the Campbell was saying. Now, it seems that he's way ahead of schedule. Now, I'm not saying that Malcolm Rodriguez is coming back in 2 days, but it looks as of right now that he could be back maybe much earlier than anticipated, which is a good sign. You know, he's healing well. He's probably doing everything he needs to do. Rodriguez is a prideful guy. He's a good linebacker. He's a good solid, linebacker 4. I explained that yesterday. If you didn't watch my video, a linebacker 4 is pretty much the first linebacker off the sidelines into the game. That reserve linebacker role, first guy that they go to, and he's a good one. He's made plays. Rodriguez has made plays since he's been a 6th-round rookie. Made plays. And Kelvin Shepard loves this kid. You didn't watch the Hard Knocks back in the day when they drafted him? Kelvin Shepard loves Malcolm Rodriguez. And Kelvin Shepard is our new defensive coordinator. So, there's a role for Malcolm Rodriguez, and he needs to come back too as well. Let's not rush it, but if it's going as planned, that's even better, right? Some Terry Arnold news. He was CB1 today, cornerback 1 with Reed out. Looked steady at practice, all practice. He was making plays all day. Play of the day, Arnold punched the ball out of tight end Brock Wright's arms. He was fired up. He got the sidelines fired up, got the defense riled up. And he's making plays all day. He was making tackles. He slipped under a block, I think, from a tight end. Not sure who the tight end was. They didn't really name it. But I'm assuming it was either Brock Wright or Sam Laporta. And he made the tackle. He also made a nice pass breakup on Sam Laporta too. So, you know, it's time for Arnold to step up, man. He struggled for like half the season last year. You know, he had all these penalties on him, all these penalties grabbing. He could not get away from grabbing and tugging on guys. I think he led the league in pass interference calls. I think him and DJ Reed. We have two of the most pass interference called cornerbacks in the NFL from last year. By the way, did you know that DJ Reed was either tied with Terrion Arnold in pass interference calls or just under or just over. Two of the top cornerbacks with penalties against them. Yikes! But Arnold cleaned that up at the second half of the season. He cleaned that up. DJ Reed, he has a little problem with it. I don't know if he's had a problem with it in years past as a New York Jet, but I know last year DJ Reed did. So, but I think DJ Reed's still a really good corner. He's just handsy. So hopefully that kind of goes away. Now the backup quarterback battle's heating up. Hooker apparently had a tremendous day, which is great. He needs that. He needs to stack those days. He was number 2 today. That was kind of a no-brainer. He was number 3 yesterday. He was number 2 back up today. He had a great practice hitting rookies Tesla and Lovett multiple times. He hit Tom Kennedy as well a couple times. His timing and accuracy was on point. Very little struggles on this day. He's progressing. He seems to be progressing, and it's kind of happening right now. It's early, but this is great news compared to the news we've heard from him last year. Last year he was all over the place. He'd have a nice practice, then have 2 bad ones in a row. Then he'd have a nice practice, then 3 bad ones in a row. That's what it kind of felt like with Hendon Hooker. Now he's kind of stacking these days. He had a decent practice yesterday. Today he had a great practice. Let's see what happens on day 3, but he's progressing. He's getting better. He's noticing it. He's comfortable in the huddle. He's comfortable with his teammates. His teammates are picking him up, picking him up when he's down, picking him up when he's up, just picking him up. Just being there for him. And he's noticing that. And he's taking in the offense. He knows the offense. It's not a different offense, too. I'll kind of get that out of the way right now. If anybody who thinks that this offense is changing, it's not. John Morton came in here and he's going to put his stamp on it for sure. He's going to change some wording, some language, some different looks. He's going to throw in some of his own plays, but it's the same offense. It's going to be the same offense, man. You don't fix what isn't broke. That's exactly what he said. He said and like I said before, he's never seen this type of talent in one room. So what's he going to do? Come in here and completely change the scheme? That'd be moronic. That'd be stupid. It'd just be dumb. Just put your stamp on it. Do some things with it. It's called the copycat league for a reason. It really is. There's nothing wrong with John Morton using this offense that Ben Johnson has used for the past 2-3 years when he was the Lions offensive coordinator. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not even Ben Johnson's offense. He tweaked it and turned it into his offense. But this is a Sean Payton offense that Dan Campbell brought over when he was a Saint. 2 running, you know what I mean? They just didn't do 2 running back sets for some reason. But they had 2 running backs that were studs, i.e. in New Orleans, Alvin Kamara, and then it was the other guy, man. The other running back from Alabama. I can't think of his name, but there was 2 great running backs being able to run the football in New Orleans, and they kind of brought the same thing. 2 tight end set. They're using 2 tight ends in New Orleans. They used it in Detroit. There's building an O-line. You got some guys you got good wide receivers. Guys that can run the slant really well. Michael Thomas. He was a bigger guy, working that slant. Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's the same offense. It's the same, with different tweaks to it. And that's fine. That's just what it is, man. But it's very good though. And Campbell, he assigned Hilker to work on his footwork and timing during the breaks, and it showed. It's been showing. Campbell explained what he wants from him. He wants him to compete and get better. He says this is an open quarterback two position. He goes, it's open. He goes, you're not the quarterback two. Kyle Allen isn't the quarterback two. This is a battle. Best man win. You guys know what to do. Like that. And that's it. Hooker seems to be up for the challenge. Allen's up for the challenge. It's going to be a pretty good battle. I know a lot of guys don't like quarterback two battles, but this is what we're going to see, especially in preseason. There's Hall of Fame game as well coming up in like 7-8 days. This is what we're going to see. So it's a legit battle, and it's probably one of the better ones on this team. Ratledge and the O-line. Okay, the O-line, day 2. He's still center number 1, Ratledge. It was, again, the same thing from yesterday. Skipper at left tackle, Sewell at right tackle, Glasgow at right guard, and Mahogany at left guard. That seems to be what they want. It's not going to be obviously Skipper at left tackle. It's going to be Taylor Decker. But Decker's supposed to be back after the Hall of Fame game. That's the rumor. That's the words I heard. So the Lions are still evaluating Rats at center, though. They're evaluating him, and Dan Campbell has said, he goes, they won't hesitate to go to Glasgow if Ratledge can't handle center 1 duties. He said it looks like he's a natural there. He looks like he's stepped up to the plate. It's early. We really like what he's seeing. We like what he's progressing with, but they know Glasgow has done it in the past. So, it's still a kind of a wait and see for me with Ratledge. I was always under the impression, honestly, that Glasgow was going to win that job year 1 and then move on, and then Ratledge was going to take over. Or they were going to draft a center. Or they were going to draft a true center. But it really seems like they are really set on making Ratledge the center here. So obviously he's the better option. They obviously think that he's the better option, and that's fine. Hank Fraley, the old line coach, is much smarter than me, and so is Dan Campbell. So hey, I can't always be right. I want Ratledge to win this. I really do. There's people coming at me, man, in some videos saying I don't know what I'm talking about. Do they believe me or do they believe Hank Fraley? I'm just giving you an opinion, man. I'm just giving you an opinion. I still have concerns about Ratledge not being able to handle it. I do. I know a lot of guards from college come in to the NFL and become centers. I know that. I really do. But if you're a fan of that team, you can't tell me that you're not at least a little bit concerned. And that's all it is. I'm not saying the sky is falling. I'm just saying I'm concerned. But the more and more I read about him staying there and they're not moving him, means that he's getting it. And that's good. That's all I want, man. I don't want the kid to fail. I'm a friggin' Lions fan, man. You know what I mean? I want the kid to succeed. I want him to become the next Ragnow. That's tough shoes to fill, but that's what I want. And hopefully he can become, just as good or better eventually, right? I don't expect that in year 1. I really don't. I expect bumps and bruises. And they got Glasgow back at right guard. The article just came out about that too as well, that Glasgow did not want to play left guard when he came here. His whole intention of signing back with Detroit was he wanted to play right guard. And they eventually moved him to left guard, and he didn't like it, but he kept quiet. He's a team guy. He didn't make no noise. He didn't ruffle no feathers. He did what he did. He was awful at left guard. Awful. But he feels much more comfortable at right guard. And that's where he is, and that's good that he's staying there because Mahogany's not going nowhere, it seems. No one's beating out Mahogany. Mahogany's a dog, man. Mahogany's a dog. How that kid went into the 6th round is beyond me. He had some issues maybe with his leg or something. He has one leg shorter than the other. Stuff like that. I don't really know. But he's a dog. So, they're keeping an eye on Ratledge. It looks like he's going, which is good. And then, the second team offensive line and the third team offensive line, it's nuts, guys. It's nuts. Manu was out there at left tackle. He was out there at left tackle for the third team as well. They got Jamarco Jones at right tackle. Michael Neese was on the second team today. Kingsley Aguakan got moved to center 3. The third team, He also Guacan also actually did some center 2 snaps as well too. Cologne did some center 3 snaps. He was at left guard in the third team. Cologne too as well. Mutai was the second team left guard. Mason Miller did some second team left guard. He did on the third team as well. Guacan got moved to left guard today. They want to see how he can go with some versatility. He also did see 2 snaps, like I said. Awosika was the second team right guard. Sorsdal did some right guard as well. Sorsdal also did some right tackle in the third team. So it's the second and the third teams on the offensive line are complete disarray right now. They're just trying to find a mix. You can tell what they're doing. They're shuffling guys. They're trying to find that unity. They're just trying to find the unity. It's all the old line. You have to be one, man. You guys have to be one, and it seems like they're really trying to get that down. They're really trying to get that down, and it's just a jumble of mess. Like you probably didn't understand what I said. I don't even understand what I said there. So it's good. So they're just trying to find guys. We have a lot of depth, which is really good. On defense, okay, Marcus Davenport had a tremendous day apparently on day 2. Multiple pressures on Goff again. No pads. I guess he beat Sewell. He beat out a couple guys. He had like 2 or 3 sacks apparently on the day. He was pressuring Goff from inside outside. Goff got so shook at one point he almost threw a pick to Kirby Joseph. Just an all-around great day by the former first-round pick, who's had a lot of injuries, and it's just every time he goes out there, you kind of take a deep breath. You just worry about him. You just worry he's going to go down. We've already lost one defensive lineman. That's going to be depth. That's going to be depth in Levi on Ruzarike, and this guy's supposed to be a starter. And the Lions have told everybody that Marcus Davenport's a starter. So the more that I see that Zadarius Smith isn't signed too, the more I don't think he's coming back. I still think it's a mistake not bringing him back. Maybe he will, maybe he's not. I'm kind of baffled that he hasn't signed with any team. So that makes me think that there's still hope. Unless he's just pricing himself way out of line and he just retires. I just don't know what's going on there. Bring him in. Are they waiting? Because he's 32, 33 years old. But anyways, he's not on the team. I shouldn't even be talking about it. But again, no pads. But Davenport completely dominated the day. Second team defense. Ukwu was in the mix there too. Isaac Ukwu was in there. The rookie Hassanin, 6th-round pick out of Boise State, blew up a run play. Nate Lynn had a sack on Allen. He ducked under Giovanni Manu on the third team. Keep an eye out for these two guys. Hassanin's got a motor that is just unmatched. The energy is unmatched. He's been asking advice from every single Lion he can. Davenport had a little thing to say about him, called him a dog, and said that his energy is just off the charts. He's like, the kid's a really good talent. He's going to take some time, but he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of talent, man. And he does. I just think he's a work in progress. I just think he's a work in progress, which is fine. He can be a work in progress. There's nothing wrong with that. But they got some guys, man. They got some guys out. They're looking for continued success. So to pair up with Davenport and Hutchinson and stuff like that. So they need guys that can come off the sidelines and produce. And some notes, man. Kicker Jake Bates. He was 7 of 9. His makes were 34, hit 2 34-yard field goals, a 38, a 48, and a 43. He did miss a 38 and 43 wide left. One was a really bad shank. So, Tesla's got a leg. He's going to miss a couple here and there, but he's pretty damn good, man. He's good. And then Isaac Tesla, the rookie out of Arkansas, he was a busy day today. Hooker found him a few times like I talked about and was doing some ball tracking drills with Goff. Tesla would run down the field and Goff would throw it as far as he can and make him go get it. So it's one of those kind of drills. You got a ball, you got to track it. I remember these drills. I didn't play wide receiver when I played football, but I remember these drills as a linebacker. Just kind of throw the ball up in the air. You got to go get it. You got to plant yourself under it and just kind of, just go get it. Ball tracking skills, man. It's just, just like a center fielder plays baseball. So I guess Tesla had a couple one or two really good catches doing that, man. Tracking the ball that Goff threw. Sheila Hamp was also there as well. But the defense, it seems like the defense is really stepping up. They seem to be kind of ahead right now. It's a brand new. It's not a brand new offense, but it's a brand new coordinator. Probably want some different looks with just some different things going on. So the defense seems to be really ahead of the game right now. Their pass coverage seems to be really well. I guess Arnold, guys like Jack Campbell, Reed. He struggled a little bit against St. Brown, but he was good on day one. Even the UDFA guys are stepping up, man. Guys like Maurice Norris, Ian Kennelly, those type of guys are stepping up and having good pass coverage reps. Something you really want to hear. So guys like Robinson, Arnold, Campbell, and especially Davenport were balling on day two. Cunningham making waves. Zach Cunningham, the new acquired linebacker that we picked up. Alex Anzalone is out, so this guy's stepping in and playing the Will. Will 1 right now, and he's also playing Mike 2 on the second team for Jack Campbell. So he's getting a lot of looks right now. He's an 8-year savvy vet that's been around the block. He's making opportunities. I guess he blew up a really nice screenplay and got the guys pumped up. Now the DC Calvin Shepard, his mentality: get the football. Get the football. He's got his guys punching out the football. They're doing drills where they're trying to knock the ball out every single time. A lot of coaches focus on this. Some don't, but a lot do. Man, focus on turnovers. Get the ball back for your offense, and let's score and let's play some defense. So I guess they're really working on punching the ball. Per se. Terrion Arnold actually having a really nice play on Brock Wright in that practice, knocking a ball out with his fist. So it's working. So Lions last year were 15th last season with 24 fumbles. They had 8 recoveries. They were also 5th best in NFL with 16 turnovers. Interceptions, I mean. Sorry. So everybody's saying that the Lions had a bad defense last year. They didn't. From December on, they did, though, because they were decimated on defense, and they were giving up like 30-plus a game. Still winning ball games, but because of the offense, I think they won one game because of that defense. It was against the Vikings in that late December game. But they weren't a bad defense last year. They had a couple bad areas that they were bad in, like air yards against. They gave up a ton of yards through the air. They didn't get to the quarterback much. Their leading sack guy was Aiden Hutchinson, who missed 12 games, which is pathetic. But other than that, they played the run fantastic. They didn't let teams score, until late in the season. They were great on third downs. They were number one getting off the field on third downs. Their fourth downs, they were really good. They were good in a ton of areas, but it caught up to them at the end. And we're not talking about those injuries. Now, special teams ace Grant Stewart, he's everywhere. Talked about him. Seems like he's becoming one of my fan favorites right now. His energy is unmatched as well. He's in every play. It seems like he's returning kicks apparently too. I guess he did it in college. So Dave Phipp, our special teams coach, wanted to see him do it, and I guess he looked the part. I know they're not tackling; they can't tackle, but I guess the guy's got some speed. He's just a ball of energy. He's out there. He's making plays on offense. With the linebackers kind of banged up, Pittman kind of coming back, Anzalone out. Stewart's getting some looks. Right now, and he's making plays out there. He's just all over the field. He's a guy that you really got to keep an eye on. Like I said, he had 19 tackles last year versus the Dolphins in one game. So he's just a ball of energy. And he's a special teams ace. So you love that about the guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets some snaps this year on the field playing linebacker. Jahmyr Gibbs, some Jahmyr Gibbs news. He's working with the running backs, obviously, but working a lot with the wide receivers now, too, as well. The plan is to put Gibbs out like a wide receiver way more. In quotations, man. So years past, they've kind of done this. They did it in his rookie year. They did it in his second year, put him out wide, had him run routes. He was very good. He was very successful in year 2, catching the football more than year 1. Year 3 is probably going to be off. He's probably going to catch 60, 70 balls. I would not doubt it. Maybe more. It might be more. You got him, man. You got a chance to grab him in fantasy. You better grab him. Man. Gibbs. So I love the kid. But expect a massive year from number zero. Actually, Sony Vaikai was doing wide receiver work as well, but then he ended up getting hurt because with apparent leg injury. So whatever happened there, hopefully it's not serious. And the deep ball, they tried to do a few deep balls yesterday. They connected on very little. I think one to Tim Patrick. Other than that, I didn't hear about too many of it. They hit JMO twice today. Goff hit Tesla with a really big catch and for a big catch and big yards for both these guys. So JMO is obviously our speed guy. He's our deep guy. Tesla's gonna be that guy too. He had a little bit of trouble separating in college, Tesla, but he is a burner. So he's got to just work on his route running and just the way he plants his feet and his body movement. And he'll learn all that, man. And if he gets that, he's going to be a problem. If he gets that, he's going to be a problem because he's a monster and he's fast. And he's got fantastic hands. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Tesla. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Tesla. It seems like they want to get work in with him. So, I'm not saying anybody's job is in jeopardy. Maybe Tim Patrick. Maybe. It's early, but just saying, keep an eye on that. The Dominic Lovett, the 6 or 7, I think 7th round kid they drafted out of Georgia, another wide receiver, showed out a little as well. He had some nice yak after the catch, yards after. So he's showing out a little bit too. He's got really nice feet, man. If you watch him play, he's got really nice feet. Smaller, but he's got really nice feet. And then UDFA defensive end edge Keith Cooper. He was in that 4-eye role, that Levi role behind Pat O'Connor. So that's what you like to hear about that too. They're trying to find a role for him. He's UDFA. He's in tough, so we'll see what happens there. Jack Campbell has looked really dominant as well in that Mike spot and playing some special teams. His ability to slip blocks has improved in its year 3. I loved the Jack Campbell pick when it happened. I got kind of railroaded a little bit a couple months ago when I kind of said they called Jack Campbell a top 10 linebacker in the NFL. I don't think he is. I think he's a good linebacker. I think he's improving. He needs to make more splash plays though. It's great that he loads up on tackles, but I need to see splash plays as well. And don't get me wrong, I love Jack Campbell. I think this is his breakout year. He looks bigger. He looks leaner. He looks, you know what I mean? He doesn't look as bulky over the past couple of years. I even noticed that about Derek Barnes. He looks thinner and leaner too, but big. So it's like, I expect these guys to have big jumps, especially Jack Campbell. I expect him to really take over this defense, and eventually from Anzalone and be that team captain on defense. I just need to see more splash plays. And I'm not bashing him. I'm not ripping him apart. But, I need to see some picks. I need to see, maybe some more sacks if they're going to use him that way. More pass deflections. He did get better as a pass cover linebacker in year 2. His high volume tackling did go up. That's great. But I need to see more from Jack Campbell. I'm not saying he should be gone off the team or anything like that, or this is his last year or anything like that. Like he's got one foot out the door. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying I want to see a little bit more, and I think that's fair to say. I think he's a very good linebacker, but I would not put him in the top 10. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I love him though. I love Jack Campbell, and I think he's going to be a really good linebacker. I just need to see a little bit more from him. And then linebacker, Deron Gilbert. He was playing at the Mike 3 as well. He's playing at the Will too. DBs get some sacks. They get in on the fun. Brian Branch, Maurice Norris, and the rookie Dan Jackson. I guess Dan Jackson has really nice blitzing ability. And they all had sacks. So safety, UDFA, Eric Hallett, took some reps at cornerback. There were some cornerbacks that were kind of out. One being DJ Reed. There was somebody else out. There was a couple other guys that were out too as well. But Eric Hallett got some reps at cornerback on the outside. He's a safety. So, man, I guess they like his athleticism. And it wasn't too much reported on it, but that's what he was doing. And then UDFA, again, Ian Kennelly, the local kid, the hometown boy. He was showing out again in day 2. His bursts, his athleticism is really on full display. He was making some plays again. This is a kid that's going to be tough to cut, according to some beat writers, saying if he keeps showing out like this, he's a football player, And that's what this regime loves. They just love football players. And he's just one of those guys. Now, he's in for a tough role. He's in for a tough battle. It's a tough battle. But that safety 4 position, like we talked about, that linebacker 4 position with Malcolm Rodriguez coming off the sidelines, that safety 4 is open. Because you got Brian Branch, you got Kirby Joseph. Kind of after that, it's Avonte Maddox, who's a little bit versatile, who can play some safety, who can play some inside nickel, maybe bounce to the outside, very little, but he's versatile. But he's got that safety 3 kind of locked up. That safety 4, it's open. It's wide open. Dan Jackson, Eric Hallett, Ian Kennelly, those guys are all kind of competing right now for that safety 4, and I think it's a good mix of talent right there. So that's it, guys. Done. Absolutely done, man. 35 minutes in, not as long as yesterday. Almost 36 minutes. Hey. I got to go to bed, though. I'm on days. This is ridiculous that I'm up, but this is the only time I could have done it, man. So I appreciate you guys coming and watching the video. And thanks for coming in, man. Day 3 will be tomorrow. I'll try to get it out earlier, but I can't make any promises. I just can't make any promises. My life is in disarray. No, it's good. It's good. It's just, I'm busy. And I don't know what this is. NFL. Okay, hey, that's new. See, that's like a keychain. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in, watching the video. Day 2 in the books. Day 3 tomorrow. We'll get some more stuff on some injuries that happened. Don't worry about the injuries. Okay, don't worry too much, man. There's a lot of guys coming back eventually. There's a lot of guys coming back, a lot more than you think. Okay, there's 2 or 3 injuries that you should be concerned about, and it's McNeil. It's Rodriguez, but he looks like he's progressing into something that kind of wasn't really thought about, him coming back earlier than anticipated, but it's not for sure he's coming back, but being on the sidelines with trainers is a good sign. And then obviously Levi Onwuzurike, who was some depth, which is a big loss for depth anyways. You know what I mean? Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Levi. I really wasn't. I didn't hate the man. His production I just thought was not good for a 2nd round pick. 2 injured, 2 always banged up. He's 5 years in the league. He's already going to miss two. Wow, that thing fell. He's already going to miss 2 seasons. So, good luck to him. But whatever, guys. Thanks a lot for coming in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. I appreciate it, guys. Go Lions, grit, hunting season, baby. Let's go. Boom.